It's not an uncommon circumstance when players rated highly out of high school don't quite live up to their expectations at the collegiate level. Every year, there are bound to be a few 3, 4, or even 5 stars that don't end up doing much in the NCAA, and while there is disappointment and a bit of shock from fans, it's not like it's an otherworldly occurrence. However, in most of these cases, it's decently clear that the player's career isn't going to pan out as expected, and by their junior or senior year, the hope that they would end up as a high draft pick, or in some cases even getting drafted at all, is basically gone. When it comes to the career and story of former USC and Miami safety Bubba Bolden, let's just say that he's considered to be a major outlier. Listed as a 4-star recruit coming out of Bishop Gorman High School, the 6'3", 200-pound first-team parade All-American was ranked as the 7th best safety in the country and predicted as a potential first-round pick years down the line. After receiving offers from Utah, Washington State, USC, Colorado, and UCLA, he would commit to USC a month after his junior season ended. He would get offered by many other schools and would actually decommit on July 14, 2016, before recommitting on January 7th of 2017, and would go on to enroll there later that year. He started the 2017 and 2018 season as the third-string safety, behind senior Chris Hawkins and redshirt freshman C.J. Pollard. He didn't make much of an impact in his freshman year, getting 8 total tackles and very limited playing time in the 13 games he was activated for. With Hawkins graduating after the season, Bolden put together an impressive spring and fall camp that would get not just Trojan fans, but college football fans in general, very excited about his future. When the team released their official Week 1 depth chart, Bolden, as many expected, was firmly at the top, further hyping up a breakout season for the sophomore safety. However, the day of the game, he would be listed as inactive due to an undisclosed matter, and even though USC cruised to a 43-21 win over UNLV, fans are more concerned with the situation involving Bolden rather than the win. The confusion only grew as an Instagram story spotted him attending class on the Tuesday after the game, when he wasn't at practice the day before or the rest of the week. He was rumored to be facing a 28-month suspension due to a student conduct violation at a party, but nothing happened until the week of October 8th, when he was taken off the USC roster and publicly announced he would be withdrawing from all classes. He would eventually be reinstated by the school on December 31st, and to many surprise, would transfer to the Miami Hurricanes just a week later, joining Trajan Bandy, Al Blades Jr., Gervon Hall, and Amari Carter in what would be a star-studded secondary. His 2018 season would be granted as a redshirt, and started the 2019 season with Miami having sophomore eligibility. Bolden wasn't able to play in the first 4 games of the season, but once he made his Miami debut on October 5th against Virginia Tech, it looked like the Canes had found their next star safety. In his first 4 games, he flew around the field, gaining 11 tackles, a pass deflection, and a forced fumble, as he quickly increased his playing time with stellar play. In the third quarter of their game against Florida State, Noles cornerback Alex Hornibrook would fire a pass in the direction of receiver Tremarian Terry. The pass would get deflected by corner DJ Ivey, and Bolden would make a diving interception, the first of his career. After picking the pass off, and this being arguably the biggest moment in his collegiate career so far, disaster struck. He jumped up and sprinted about 5 yards before celebrating with fellow safety Gervon Hall. But after hitting shoulder pads, Bolden would crash down awkwardly and, as MRIs revealed, would be out for the rest of the 2019 season with an ankle injury. A massive blow as he was just starting to step into the spotlight for the Canes. After rehabbing for the majority of the offseason, Bolden would rejoin the team with a clear sense of determination, and after earning his spot as a starting safety, he would put together an incredible season, regaining consideration as a high draft pick. In 11 games, he racked up 74 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, a sack, an interception, 3 pass deflections, and a team-high 4 forced fumbles. A breakout year that included accolades such as 2-time ACC Defensive Back of the Week, one of which was in his first game back from injury, all ACC second-team honors, and was even a semifinalist for the Jim Thorpe Award, given to the nation's best defensive back. The question had now changed from whether or not Bolden would play well in his junior season to whether or not he would declare for the draft. His draft stock had shot up an unbelievable amount, and most experts and analysts believed that he would declare, his name would be called in the first 3 rounds, with potential to reach his previous expectations of being a first-round pick. In early January 2021, he would announce his return to Miami, in hopes of raising his stock and solidifying himself as one of the best players in the nation, while this time becoming a surefire first-round pick. ESPN analyst Todd McShay, who had displayed continuous support for Bolden throughout his collegiate career, would release his first 2022 mock draft on May 7th. In predicting that he would be selected 20th overall, he stated that he believed Bolden's return for his senior year was the smart choice, and he would be a contender for the Thorpe Award once again. Just 6 days later, CBS Sports would put out their top 100 players for the 2022 draft, putting Bolden at 61st, the 3rd overall safety on the board. After rising to one of the most watched prospects in the nation, all eyes were on him entering his senior season. He started the year as a preseason All-ACC team member, and through the first half of the season, he played as one of the best and most electric defensive backs in college. Unfortunately, once again, the worst would happen. After sustaining a minor shoulder injury during the Virginia Tech game on September 30th, he decided to play through it. And through 7 games, he had a team-leading 42 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, a sack, and 2 pass deflections. On October 25th, head coach Manny Diaz would announce that Bolden had re-aggravated his shoulder and would be out for the rest of his last collegiate season, killing his chance of being a first-round pick and plummeting his draft stock. Fortunately, he had healed enough to participate somewhat in the NFL Combine, posting an impressive 4.47 40-yard dash while being a bigger-bodied safety, measuring in at 6'2", 209 pounds. His skill set was similar to that of the ideal safety prospect. He had size, speed, could ball at all 3 levels, and only lacked elite vision and awareness. His draft projections were all over the place, varying from high as the 4th round to not getting picked at all. When the draft came, Bolden did not hear his name called and went undrafted. While he was one of the best safeties in the country when he played, his injury history and lack of experience as a starter kept teams from taking him in the draft. When it comes to whether or not Bolden will have a future in the league, that remains to be seen. He was signed by the Seahawks on April 30th, but was eventually cut on August 20th after playing in just 1 preseason game and accumulating a single assisted tackle. He worked out for a few teams since then, including the New England Patriots, who were in desperate need of secondary help, but wasn't signed by any. He possesses all of the necessary talents to become an NFL safety, starting or otherwise, but unless a team takes a chance on him, we may never get to see the full potential of Bubba Bolden.